Hello, kia ora, I'm Philip Duncan and thanks for joining us for our Friday weather update for August the 18th. Well, this weekend, it's a busy one weather-wise in New Zealand. We've got this active cold front moving in from the Tasman Sea on Saturday. Low pressure then dominates the North Island on Sunday and finally moves away on Monday. Australia has plenty of high pressure and that is coming towards New Zealand next week. So let's make sense of it. On the animated wind map today, we've put in there total precipitable water. That just basically means where's the wet stuff in the sky. And the brighter the blue, the heavier the rain. So the tropics, that's where the heaviest rain is. But you can see that front moving in towards New Zealand. The blue, not quite as bright as the tropics. And that's a sign that this change that we've been seeing over the last few months, while still seeing frequent wet weather, the total amount of rain that's falling is starting to reduce, and that's because it's coming out of the southwest. It's not as wet as when we were getting all that rain coming out of the north. And you can see Australia getting caught up in that sou'wester. In fact, the southerly goes all the way up into northern parts of Queensland. So let's make sense of the rain, and the colouring you see on the map today, mostly in that 30 to 50 millimetre mark, with heaviest rain going across central parts of the North Island and along the western side of the South Island. Now, Nelson, not looking quite as exposed as it was the other day, still seeing some heavy falls to the west, chance of some slips from Takaka westwards, but hopefully not too problematic, and very little in the way of rain for those of you in the east. And Australia is mostly dry, just a few showers caught up in that windy sou'wester, so 10 millimetres or so building up in the yellow for some of you there. So temperatures, now this is a little confusing to quickly glance at, but basically maximum temperatures for Friday and Saturday and overnight temperatures for tonight and Saturday night, Sunday morning. So what you're seeing here, departure from normal, shows that for Friday, most of New Zealand is warmer than average, although the top about normal for this time of the year. And similar story tomorrow, about average to a little bit warmer than average for the North Island, warmer across the south. And that's because of that nor'west wind. Now tonight, cold before that nor'west wind arrives. Tomorrow night, a couple of degrees warmer than average with the cloud and the warmer winds. So that's a kind of good way of looking at it. And in Australia, it's a lot more mixed up, but you can see for today, maximum temperatures, that cooler change, and it goes right up to northern areas tomorrow. And then the overnight lows tonight, well below average inland, and then that spreads up into Queensland. So some cooler airflows, and New South Wales, I should say, over the next couple of days and nights. So here is the forecast for Saturday. Look at that front coming in. Classic August cold front. And there may be a couple of thunderstorms in there, but it's going to be very hit and miss. For the most part, rainfall's not huge. So the front comes in with a windy nor'wester. This is at lunchtime on Saturday. And over in Australia, most of the wet weather actually clearing away for you as you go through Saturday morning. By Sunday, just a few coastal showers around Bass Strait and the western side of Tasmania. But New Zealand, low pressure up here, parked over the top of Auckland and Northland, Waikato, Coromandel. You'll get some rain. It's patchy. It's not as much as you might think, but at the moment, for some of you, even 5 millimetres is a lot. And in the South Island, westerly winds. So that's why it's dry for eastern areas. So next week, that lowers out to the east. Last couple of updates, it's been wiggling around, wobbling around. And you can see now it is likely to still bring in showers to the eastern side and also up here, where it's a bit of a windy sou'wester. So Monday, probably a bit downhill for the North Island. But the South Island's not looking too bad. A little bit of rain just north of Christchurch, and high pressure over Australia brings nor'westers back into Tasmania, a little bit warmer, but still those showers in the west and the north. So by Tuesday next week, another cold front moves over the southeastern corner of Australia. That brings a windy westerly change. And of course, before it reaches New Zealand, the winds tilt to a warmer nor'wester, but you've got high pressure to the north here. Couple of lingering showers for Mahia Peninsula and Gisborne, otherwise clearing. And by Wednesday, settled. High pressure over New Zealand. Only a little bit of rain down here in Fiordland. Few showers in the southeastern corner of Aussie. Most of these showers will remain offshore, but a couple of them will just brush the coastline of New South Wales. And as we go through next week, again, high pressure is really dominating Aussie. Classic El Nino setup to have high pressure out here over Sydney. And it's just on the edge of New Zealand. So we get caught up on sort of high pressure, not really raining much, but still getting a few showers just here and there because we're not completely under the high. So that's the forecast right through to next week. a lot drier next week with that high pressure zone in charge, and it moves into the weekend as well, although I think we'll see a few showers around next weekend. That's all from me. Have a great weekend. We'll see you again next week.